several people reached out to me recently. They were asking me questions like, why is so much solvent coming out of my can? Why is my spray can clogged? And usually these questions, I answer them with, are you shaking your can correctly? I also realized a lot of people don't know how to shake their cans correctly, or they were never taught the proper way. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what you should do to shake your can properly. So these cans are a mixture of pigment, which is your color, solvent, and some sort of binding resin that kind of like holds it all together. But these parts separate over time, especially if it's left on a shelf for an extremely long time. All of these cans actually have expiration dates on the bottom. Yeah, this expires in 2028, so I got plenty of time to use this can. But be sure to be aware of that as well. If it is a super old can, I wouldn't even bother. Who knows, it could have dried up. It's just unshakable at that point. Some of you may ask, why is it so important that we shake our cans correctly? This kind of paint, it has a much higher pigmentation than the typical paints that you find at like the hardware store. The thicker the paint, the harder you have to shake it, or the longer you have to shake it. So some people are like, oh, you can just shake your can for like 30 seconds and you'll be fine, but that's not true. It's actually 2 minutes. It actually says so on the back of the can here on this Montana Gold can, that 2 minutes is the appropriate amount of time. So what you have to do first, turn the can upside down. And you take the palm of your hand and you kind of hit the palm of your hand with it. 10 or 15 times will work. Hear that? Yeah. Hear that ball rolling? That means that the little balls on the inside are shaking the can. If you don't hear that little ball and you're doing this thousands of times, use your shin, use the sole of your shoe, and see if that helps to kind of break the little balls loose. And you should continue shaking upside down for about 2 minutes. And if you do want to shake it in some other directions, that can be helpful too. So I'm going to go ahead and shake this can. When you clog the can, it can almost make the can unusable. It's going to get stuck up in that straw. So that's kind of what happens. There are ways to pull paint out of the can if it is really badly clogged, but I'm going to have a video about that later on. I'm actually going to do like a spray can anatomy in one of my next future videos. I'm going to have, kind of like a diorama that kind of shows you exactly how everything works in here. But it has like 2 little balls in here, or maybe more, I don't know. 2 is what I'm thinking. That kind of help shake all of the different parts of the paint together when you're shaking it. If you have multiple cans to shake, just shake multiple at a time. Kind of like this. So one thing that you need to know about Montana Gold cans specifically before you spray. People contact me sometimes and be like, why is this Montana Gold can not working? I'm putting my finger on the trigger, it's not going. Okay, the reason is it actually has a little safety ring on the inside. So you just need to flip the can upside down and you have this little safety ring. It helps keep you from accidentally spraying in travel or storage. So another tip, I would suggest instead of using the stock cap that comes on it, because these stock caps are actually fairly thin caps, fine caps. And if you're thinking about it this way, you want to pull as much paint out as possible, especially on the first spray. So when you're spraying your new can for the first time, I would recommend a fat cap of sorts. And I'll go over all the different fat caps and skinny caps and all the different caps that you can use in another cap-like video. Anyway, so I'm gonna put this fat cap on. Shake it again for a moment, right side up, and we're gonna see how it sprays. So when you first spray it into the air, don't spray it on the wall. Because if you spray it on the wall immediately, you're going to get some solvent on there regardless of how much you actually sprayed the can. So, right now that we sprayed a little in the air and you see a little color coming out, you know it's the right color. We have this pepperoni mild color. Ooh, it's a green. Anyway. So that was actually a nice, clean spray. And that, my friends, is how you shake a can. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you learned a little something from this video. Be sure to click subscribe and like this video if you got anything out of it. And share it with your friends, that are learning spray paint or that want to learn spray paint, because I'm trying to break things down to the easiest way for you to learn, as I had to learn all of this stuff myself. Anyway, so remember to stay peaceful, as a calm mind is a creative mind. Now go get inspired, be an influence, and make something beautiful.